Good, happy Friday morning, October 4th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We have a lot of news this morning, so let's get started. First up, 9-year-old Claremont boy needs a transplant after both kidneys removed. Family looking for a donor with type A or O blood. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
Customers will call in or email in and just tell us that I was at the store, and from the beginning of the sale till the delivery, it was a great experience. And as a business owner, that's what we strive for.
Visit us at powellstone.com.
Sit. Oh boy.
9-year-old Nyman is back home in Claremont after another day of dialysis, happy to be playing with Rex, his Make-A-Wish puppy.
I think pugs are cute, and I always wanted a dog.
This is the reward after traveling to Boston Children's Hospital 3 days a week.
I don't like it because I can't really have much play dates and stuff.
Nyman needs a kidney transplant.
He's gonna make it. He will. He's strong. He's strong-willed.
He has a hereditary kidney disease called FSGS. He started getting sick a year ago. 2 months ago, both kidneys were removed. This fourth grader has a lot of support from Team Nyman at school and in his community, getting the word out, trying to find that one donor to change his life for the better.
I won't be able to get off dialysis. I'll have to stay on dialysis unless I get the kidney.
He's quite the little man. He is. And there's still a long road ahead.
The family even drives around with this sign on the back of the family car: "Please save my 9-year-old son. He needs a kidney to survive A or O donor." They know someone is out there.
It's gonna be a while, but it will be okay. I pray every night.
In Claremont, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Concord School Board announces audit to ensure all administrators are qualified. Acting superintendent not fully credentialed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When family and friends come together on a beautiful day, what better place to be than in your own backyard?
Well, tonight, the Concord School Board says an audit will be done to make sure everyone on its administrative team has the proper qualifications for their jobs. We first reported on Monday the acting superintendent, Donna Pally, is not fully certified. But the district says it believes that it is legal under state law and says that she is working to finish certification requirements. Still, the board says it is looking for a qualified individual to fill the role while Superintendent Terry Foston is on leave. And in a letter tonight, the board says Business Administrator Jack Dunn is also filing paperwork to get his needed certification.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nashua Transit System unveils 2 new hybrid electric buses. Buses powered by electric motor from BAE systems. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When family and friends come together on a beautiful day, what better place to be than in your own backyard? Techo Block hardscape materials will turn your dreams into reality. Create your backyard oasis with quality Techo Block materials from Powell Stone and Gravel.
Guys, I've been here all day. Can you finish up? We close at 5 o'clock. Your patio's coming next week.
You'll close when I tell you to close. Got
2 new electric hybrid buses are now on the road in Nashua. The Nashua Transit System unveiled the new additions this morning. The buses are powered by a special electric motor from BAE Systems, a defense contractor in New Hampshire. The old buses use diesel engines, which give off more emissions and use more fuel.
What you don't see is all the hard work that goes in behind that to get to this point. And, everyone from getting letters of support to staff designing it, to the bus build, to the maintenance staff being able to, get it upfitted and get it on the road.
Thousands of BAE's electric drive systems are actually already being used around the world.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Pregnant woman, 2 children injured when car crashes into Manchester building. SUV crashes into building after earlier collision. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Customers will call in or email in and just tell us that I was at the store, and from the beginning of the sale till the delivery, it was a great experience. And as a business owner, that's what we strive for.
Visit us at powellstone.com.
Tense moments in Manchester this afternoon after 2 accidents ended with this car slamming into an apartment building on Massabesic Street.
Now I see this van come barreling through the intersection, didn't brake, didn't turn, didn't try to turn.
Manchester Fire says the accident started further up the road, just outside of Elliott Hospital, where investigators say this white Hyundai Accent T-boned a Saturn Outlook. That SUV then sped down Terrytown Road and crashed into the building.
It appears that the accelerator was stuck to the floor. It could have been a malfunction of the accelerator. It could have happened after the collision, the initial collision. We're not sure.
Witnesses rushed in, helping a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old who suffered minor injuries.
I hopped out of the car instantly. I heard the babies crying in the backseat. I yelled, "Babies!"
Authorities say a pregnant woman suffered a serious but non-life-threatening injury on her leg.
And she was on the floor, and she said she couldn't move, and she was alert enough to tell us that she was pregnant.
The driver, a 31-year-old Massachusetts man, had minor injuries. The jaws of life were needed to get him and the woman out. No one inside the apartment building was hurt, but it was a close call.
The owners live on the first floor, and they had just pulled in the driveway, so they were lucky they weren't in the house.
Firefighters say everyone in the SUV was wearing seatbelts and airbags deployed, which likely saved their lives.
Really hope everybody's okay, and definitely extra prayers tonight. Believe me, it was a frightening sight.
The building has been determined to be unsafe, so 6 people have been displaced. The Red Cross is assisting them. In Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. DHHS issues health alert as Spiphilia's case spike in New Hampshire. New Hampshire sees first congestional Spiphilia's case since 2013. The number of Spiphilia's case reported in New Hampshire was up 96% from 54 cases reported in 2014 to 6 cases reported in 2018, according to DHHS. That means an increase in the number of Sphysphilia infections in pregnant women in the last few years, said DHHS. 3 infants with probable congestional Sphysphilia were born to New Hampshire residents from May 2018 to September 2019, marking the first case of congestional Sphysphilia in the Granite State since 2013, said DHHS. DHHS recommends pregnant women get routine screenings to prevent congestional Sphysphilia and say healthcare providers should assure risk factors in all potential visits because some women with internal negative tests are at risk of acquiring Sphysphilia later in pregnancy. Women with higher risk of contracting Sphysphilia should be restated in the third trimester and again at delivery, said DHHS. Risk factors include being diagnosed with a sexually transmitted disease during pregnancy, having unprotected sex with multiple partners, having a new sex partner, using illegal drugs, or exchanging sex for drugs, money, or other services. Sphysphilia can be cured with antibiotic treatment in its earlier stage. In the early stages, symptoms can include unclears at the site of the infection that can be round, firm, and painless. In the next stage, symptoms can include skin rash, swollen lymphos nodes, and fever. The signs can be mild and may not be noticed. In its final stage, Sphysphilia can lead to severe medical problems affecting the heart, brain, and other organs. Sphysphilia infection during pregnancy can increase the likelihood of miscarriage, preterm birth, and stillbirth. Up to 40% of babies born to mothers with untreated Sphysphilia may be stillborn or die in infancy. Now let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for September 4th, 2019. We have 2 candidates today in New Hampshire. The first candidate, Joe C. Stack. He has 2 events today in New Hampshire. His first event, town hall meeting organized by local Democrats at Stevenson Memorial Library in Greenfield, New Hampshire at 7 o'clock p.m. His second event, town meeting organized by local Democrats at Dinland Memorial Library in Mount Vernon, New Hampshire at 7:45 p.m. And Bill Weld, Republican Bill Weld, he's also in New Hampshire today. He has 2 events today in New Hampshire. First event, civics discussion at Allvine High School in Hudson, New Hampshire at 8:30 a.m. And second event, meet and greet at Riverwoods in Exeter, New Hampshire at 3 p.m. U.S. futures point to a slightly higher open. U.S. stock index futures indicated a slightly higher open on Wall Street Friday morning. The House deposes first witness in impeachment inquiry. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
There are new text messages now emerging this evening as the first witness is interviewed in this investigation. Kurt Volker, the former special U.S. envoy to Ukraine, answering questions behind closed doors today. He resigned just days after the whistleblower complaint, and the transcript of that call was released from the White House. Tonight, what he reportedly revealed and the text messages between diplomats about all of this. ABC's Mary Bruce on the Hill.
Mr. Messer, what are you going to tell them?
Tonight on Capitol Hill, the president's former envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, offering the first inside account of the president's efforts to press Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. Volker handing over text messages that show State Department officials debating whether Trump was withholding nearly $400 million in military aid to pressure Ukraine for his own political benefit. The top American diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, writes, "I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign." The U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, replies, "I believe you are incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear, no quid pro quos of any kind." But Sondland then adding, "I suggest we stop the back and forth by text." According to the whistleblower complaint, Volker had regular dealings with President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who has aggressively pushed Ukrainian officials to investigate Biden.
I spoke to Ambassador Sondland 4 times. I spoke to Volker 8 times. They basically knew everything I was doing.
The whistleblower says Volker spoke with Giuliani in an attempt to, quote, contain the damage to U.S. national security. The Washington Post today reports Volker told lawmakers he warned Giuliani he was being fed untrustworthy information from Ukrainian political figures about Biden and his son.
Well, it's deeply concerning. The information and smears against Vice President Biden had no basis in fact.
According to the Post, Volker says he also cautioned the Ukrainians to steer clear of U.S. politics. But Republicans are defending President Trump.
But Ambassador Volker has been very impressive, and as I said, has said nothing that coincides with what the Democrats are saying with their whole impeachment narrative.
Mary Bruce live up on the Hill tonight, and Mary, tomorrow lawmakers will hear from the Inspector General for the intelligence community, and of course he's the one who received the whistleblower complaint.
And David, lawmakers are going to press him on how and why he determined that the whistleblower complaint was, quote, credible and of urgent concern. And they will likely want to know who he spoke with inside the Trump administration to make that conclusion. David?
Mary Bruce, our thanks to you as well.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.